What's going on, everybody? Happy Monday to you all. Welcome to Sports Talk. We got a great episode for you guys as always. We got Aaron Rodgers to talk about. We got the Cowboys to talk about. We got football in general to talk about, guys. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be epic. Buckle up. We got a good episode for you as always. And always, as I say, guys, guys, we got a great episode for y'all as always. Like I said, it's going to be a great, awesome, epic episode. So I hope you guys are having a great day. It's a great start to the week for me. I hope it's a great start to the week for you guys. First thing I want to do, though, I want to give a little shout out to the El Segundo Little League World Series baseball team. They had a really good run, and they were able to come home with the championship yesterday. On a walk-off home run against the team from Curacao, which is a little small island off the coast of Venezuela in South America. So it was a great game. You know, shout out to both teams. You know, they both played their hearts out. Very devastating for Curacao, especially to lose on a walk-off like that. I really just feel for them because Curacao is a very poor country, and that team from Curacao, they've made it the last, like, I think 3 out of 5 years. Yeah, the last 3 out of 5 Little League World Series is they've made the final, but they can't get over the hump. They can't. It's sad too, as they battle so well. Talking about the Little League World Series, though, I really didn't think that they had a shot. I thought this team from Taiwan was going to win it all. And let me tell you, they got a kid that pitches really good, and he was mowing people down. Like, they were just an epic, awesome team. Curacao was able to shut them out, though, when they played for the International Championship, because they both were from, they were from the winners bracket. Curacao had one loss. And the fact that they were able to beat Taiwan in the International Championship to go to the World Series Championship is pretty impressive. Like I said, shout out to both of those teams. You know, this team, though, from El Segundo, California, really surprised me. Granted, they had some good players, and they were well coached. So, again, it doesn't shock me one damn bit. But, honestly, I thought Texas was going to win it. Because Texas had beat them earlier in the Little League World Series. Texas was undefeated, you know, and then they had the rematch in the U.S. Championship, and California just was too much for them, I guess. Or they had their ace pitching. Both teams had their aces pitching, I think. So it was a evenly matched game. But at the end of the day, California was just too much for Texas. And then Texas played for third place against Taiwan, and Taiwan just blew them out of the water. It was like they just did not care anymore, honestly. Oh, well. But I will say this, though, guys. Shout out to them again, as always. But I do want to get into the nitty-gritty, though, of today's episode. So the other day, Trey Lance, I want to talk about him for a little bit. So the other day, he got told by the 49ers head guys, Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch, they were like, hey, we're not going to have, you didn't win the backup job. You know, we're going to give it to Sam Darnold. We think he performed a little bit better. Why don't you take the rest of the day off, you know, come back tomorrow and we'll talk more then. Okay, Trey Lance goes home. The next day, he goes back to practice, and John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan are like, oh, we really want to keep him on the team. You know, we want to try and find out what the best option is for him. Then come to find out, I guess, in between all this, in a closed-door meeting, Trey Lance told John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan, like, I want to have a chance to go to a team where I can be at least a backup, not a number 3. I don't want to be a number 3 option. So, next thing I knew, I see a breaking tweet from Adam Schefter Now, I'm a little on edge when it comes to Adam Schefter because that guy is the same guy who botched the first go around with Brady retiring. Okay? Now, he comes out and says, oh, Trey Lance has been traded to the Dallas Cowboys for a 4th round pick in next year's draft. And I'm thinking, what? Huh? This has got to be a joke. I'm like, what is Jerry Jones doing? Because here's the thing. Jerry Jones has 2 pretty decent backup quarterbacks on his team. He's got Cooper Rush, who proved last year that he can come in and step up when Dak goes down. He went 4-1 as a fucking starter last year. Will Grier, who has balled out all preseason this year, held a guy the other day against the goddamn Raiders, threw for over 300 yards. And now you're going to get Trey Lance? What are you saying, Jerry Jones? To me, I'm thinking this has got to be a joke. Like, what is Jerry Jones doing? Is he trying to send a message to Dak that, hey, you better perform good this year, or I got Trey Lance waiting in the wings, dude, and he's younger and he's cheaper. So you better watch it, Dak, or you gone, brother. So I honestly think that Jerry Jones is sending signals in really weird, like, gaslightish ways to Dak Prescott and Mike McCarthy. So earlier this year, he sent a message to Mike McCarthy by getting rid of Kellen Moore. And then saying, hey, by the way, Mike, you're calling offense this year, buddy. Pretty much just saying, if the offense sucks, it's on you. You have nobody else to blame anymore, dude. It's on you. Yes, he has Brian Schottenheimer as his OC, but Brian Schottenheimer ain't calling plays. He's just a figurehead. That's it. He is just a damn figurehead. He is not calling no plays. It is all Mike McCarthy. Everybody knows that. Every football, NFL, Dallas Cowboy fan all knew that going into the season. Now, also, I want to say this too. The Cowboys getting Lance now is a signal fire to Dak, like I said, from Jerry Jones. So first he goes after Mike McCarthy. Then he's going after Dak. He's like, oh, by the way, Dak, yeah, you better not throw 15 interceptions again this year, or you're gone. I'll trade your ass, because I got Trey Lance waiting in the wings, and I can shed some cap. Because he's on a rookie deal still. Trey Lance is still on his rookie deal. So, now, this is going to be interesting, and this is why I say the Dallas Cowboys never, ever cease to amaze me when it comes to drama. That team is full of nothing but drama each and every friggin' year. And it just makes me so happy. This is the same team, to quote Stephen A. Smith, by the way, this is the same team that said, or they didn't say, but this is the same team that had a player that literally, after a training camp practice, this dude got caught stealing drawers and friggin' cologne from a store. Like, dude, what you doing stealing a pair of drawers for? Come on, man. And I'm talking like, and we're not talking like drawers for like a dresser. We're talking underwear here. The motherfucker got caught stealing underwear. Like, come on, man. You can't tell me you can't go forward to buy a pair of underwear, man. Come on, man. That's just, I don't understand that. I don't understand these fools. I don't. I really don't. Oh, God. But don't worry, guys. Just like I say, be patient. Be patient. Because the Cowboys will not disappoint you. If you're looking for some good entertainment when it comes to NFL football, the Dallas Cowboys is where to go. Because you will get entertained some way, somehow, of how stupid they are. It's great. That's why they're America's team, I guess. Oh, God. Moving on, though, I want to talk about Aaron Rodgers. So Aaron Rodgers, all right, you know how I went off the other day in my last episode about how, oh, he runs the team. Well, it showed. He only played one drive. I knew it. I knew Robert Saleh was too much of a pussy to say that Aaron Rodgers was only going to play one drive and I wasn't going to go against him. I knew he was a pussy. I knew it. So, in my opinion, Aaron Rodgers plays one drive. Then he gets interviewed after the fucking game. And he's like, oh, I felt great, I got a touchdown in there, yada, yada, yada. Dude, you played one fucking drive. Calm down. Get ready for in 2 weeks when you're playing a whole game. All right? And honestly, I watched Aaron Rodgers. Granted, that one drive, he looked like vintage Aaron Rodgers. I'll give him that. That one pass he threw for a touchdown, it was nice. It was a nice friggin' fade pass. I'm not gonna lie. He looked like MVP vintage Aaron Rodgers. Which pisses me off, but makes me happy at the same time, because again, I have this love-hate relationship with Aaron Rodgers. One, because he's one of the last old quarterbacks of when I was a kid. So, that's why I respect him. But at the same time, I can't stand him because he's arrogant and he thinks his shit doesn't stink and he runs the team and yada, yada, yada. Okay? But I will say this. It's going to be interesting to see what Aaron Rodgers could do with the New York Jets. I think he looks like he can manage this offense and make them thrive. I mean, come on, they had all the starters in there on the first drive, and they looked good. They really did. They looked good. So, it's going to be interesting. I'm just saying right now, guys, it's going to be very interesting. So, also, I want to say this. Boy, we got cut down day coming, guys. Tomorrow is the deadline. I think it's 4 p.m. Eastern. It's going to be interesting to see who gets cut. Now, also, I will say this. I did see that Colt McCoy, longtime Texas guy, love him. He got cut from Arizona. Really surprised me. That honestly really surprised me. Because he hadn't played all preseason. So I was thinking like, oh, he's probably going to be the starter while Kyler Murray's hurt. Because Kyler Murray's going on PUP. So he's going to be out for at least the first 6 to 8 weeks of the season. So I'm thinking, all right, well then who's going to play half the season? I think it's going to be Josh Dobbs, who they just traded for from Cleveland. That's who I think. I think it's going to be Josh Dobbs, which is interesting because Josh Dobbs hasn't really gotten any playing time in a long time. He's been a career backup all his life. Why did you go against Colt McCoy, who came in last year, ran your team after Kyler got hurt, knows your offense, and then you're going to do this to him? This, to me, tells me right then and there, okay, that the Arizona Cardinals are tanking. They are tanking for Caleb Williams this year. Fuck him, by the way. God, I can't stand that guy. But they're tanking. I wouldn't be surprised if that team only wins 2 games this year. I wouldn't be surprised. They look like a team that's only going to win 2 games. I got a buddy of mine, Phil Ketterman, by the way. Shout out to you, buddy. He's been going to their training camps because he lives out in Arizona, and he's been telling me that they look bad. Like, they look bad. They look like a middle school team. So, okay, so riddle me this. Like, you're clearly tanking. You're going to have 2 first-round picks in probably the top 5 next year because they have the Texans' first-round pick next year, too. And the Texans this year are probably not going to win but maybe 5 games. I think they're going to go 5-12. Okay, they're probably going to finish last in the division. So, they're going to have... The Cardinals are going to have at least 2 picks, I think, in the top 5. Now, if they get 2 picks in the top 5, do they get Marvin Harrison Jr. too? Along with Caleb Williams? To set up the next, like, tandem of wide receiver quarterback duo? I'm already going way ahead to next year. I can't be doing that yet, but that's just speculation on my part. You know what I mean? That's what that all is. That's just speculation on my part. So I think that's what my gut is telling me that the Cardinals are doing. Also, I did get word that the Patriots have started making their cuts. They did cut one of their punters, which didn't surprise me. They had a rookie that I think has been balling out. Trace McSorley did get cut, which I knew was probably going to happen. Now, that's going to be interesting, is who's going to be the backup quarterback for Mac Jones? Is it going to be Zappe or is it going to be Malik? Malik has balled out this preseason. Zappe has not looked that good. So I wonder, who is Bill going to go with? Do you keep Zappe and stock him because you don't want to risk him going through waivers and somebody picking him up because you wasted a draft pick on him? Or do you go with Malik? I think he's going to go with both because I think Bill wants to have 3 quarterbacks on the roster this year. The reason I say that is because Malik is probably going to be the next Taysom Hill for New England. He's like a Swiss Army knife. The dude can play quarterback, running back, wide receiver. So literally, you can implement him at so many positions, and Bill loves versatility. I know Belichick. He loves his guys to be versatile. And if he can get somebody like that on his team, shit, he can implement a whole lot of things on the offense. He also did trade for a couple of offensive linemen, which is what New England really needed. The O-line is garbage. I mean, that O-line, God, New England's O-line. I'm so scared for them. I'm so scared. It's not even funny, guys. And Riley Reef got hurt in the last preseason game, too. And he was supposed to be like one of the starters. So that kind of sucks. Calvin Anderson still has not come back yet. I don't know what's going to happen with him. There's just outside of Trent Brown, like, the tackle position is just terrible. It's just absolutely garbage. Man. It's going to remain to be seen. The guys that they did get were 2 tackles, very young too. So I think Belichick is just looking for depth at this point, and he knows that he needs it on the O-line this year for Mac. Because honestly, offense-wise, that's the only weakness I see on the offense. The rest of the positions on offense are decent. So, we'll see. Also, Jacob, shout out to you, buddy. Your Raiders looked really good. Well, actually, they didn't look really good. They looked really bad against old Cowboys the other day. They looked pretty bad. Like, better get that TV. You guys had Brady on your sideline. I don't know if Brady was too happy about that. Brady didn't look too happy. And here's the thing. When you got Tom Brady on your sideline, and you play like you did, even though it's preseason, Brady ain't going to be too happy. You know. I think the Raiders will figure it out. But again, this is going to be, and I've said this before on one of my other episodes, but the Raiders are going to have a hard time this year. They really are. They're going to have a hard time this year. It's going to be tough because I don't think Jimmy G is the answer. Do I wish he was still back in New England? Abso-fucking-lutely. Absolutely. But I just think he's not a good fit for the Raiders. Even though his old offensive coordinator is the head coach there, Josh McDaniels. I just don't think it's going to fit for him. I don't. And yeah, he's got Josh Jacobs, he's got Davante Adams, like, granted, he's got weapons. I don't know. It's going to remain to be seen. I will say this, though, guys. Tune in. This is going to be a little bit of a future episode, but this coming up weekend, we're going to be live on location down in Lampasas, Texas. I'm going to have a very special guest on for you guys.
while I'm down there. It's gonna be a good debate type episode, and you guys are gonna want to tune in for that for sure. Any more news? I am gonna probably go through Cut Down Day on Wednesday, so I'm probably gonna do one more episode before then. We're gonna detail Cut Down Day, some surprising cuts that if I see, I will go over with you guys too. Take it easy, guys. Have a great week. It's a beautiful day down here in Texas. We had a cold front come through finally. It's in the 90s here. It's kind of bearable, actually, so it's nice. But I will talk to you guys all later. Have a great day and a great week, y'all.